reaching into the 80s, the ocean waters are warming up, and images of snowbanks, buried cars, parking spot savers, and tea delays are melting away. But for many businesses, the severe winter meant harsh financial realities that continue to affect their economic outlook.
Even though the snow is gone and trees are green, many businesses are still recovering from the harsh winter.
In February, we did 25% less business than we did in February last year. So it was substantially less than what we would expect to do. So when we did not have any guests in January and February, and we still had all of our expenses, we depleted our cash reserve, basically, and that is not yet back.
Like Journeyman, many other local restaurants also experienced substantial losses due to the weather.
Valentine's Days of the past were pretty good, but this year's in particular wasn't anything fantastic. I mean, people cancel reservations. I mean, they may be saying they're coming out for Valentine's Day, but I mean, think last-minute changes in plans and stuff like that due to weather conditions.
The city also noticed the business stagnation.
Typically, a lot of businesses will have really big weekends that allows them to just pay the bills for 3 or 4 months after that. So, for places, fine dining locations that depend on a Valentine's Day weekend, and they didn't have that, that was really tough, really tough. We're a partner with there's a quasi-state agency called Mass Growth Capital Corporation that started a snow loan fund that basically provided microloans that we partnered in helping to promote locally to our business community that you can still apply for. Actually, it's still open, I think, till the end of July at the least. They may extend it. The other program, the Small Business Administration, the SBA, actually has a disaster designation that they do when the disasters are around the country. And just a couple weeks ago, they designated our county, Middlesex County, as a disaster area during that month, which basically means you're eligible to apply. Any business in the county is eligible to apply for another loan program that's actually even more flexible and more generous.
The Snowstorm Loans range from $5,000 to $10,000. Eligible businesses need to pay back the money in 3 years at an annual interest rate of 5%. Magpie gift store took advantage of the loan program.
You have your expenses you have to pay for, even if your rent and your heat and everything. And so if you're not selling stuff, you still have to pay for all that. And so it was a difficult choice. You need to buy new merchandise and pay your employees, things like that. So getting the loan really helped us. It gave us some capital to keep going. In April and in March and April when it was really bad right after the winter, and so very, very helpful.
But for new stores like Bead Creative, which are not eligible to apply for the loan, the owners have to figure out more creative ways to increase business.
So we are a new store, right? So it was our first year. So going through this hard winter was even harder for us because we were just in the first years of operations. There was one time there were 10 days straight without any sales. After the whole thing was over, we were like, okay, what are we gonna do? We really need to get back on track. So we have done a couple of things. One of the things, the open mic with you see they're organizing now. So we plan to do it once a month. It's just to create awareness about the store. People can see that we're doing something or something going on there, and they might find out about the store. We're gonna have an open house for classes one day. We want to try to make a community necklace that everyone put a bead on it. That's a sneak peek. We lower the price of the classes. We encourage people to bring their own materials, so that maybe to bring more people in.
Local community groups are also taking actions to help.
We're doing a special initiative called Summer Bliss, which is a way of helping all of our local businesses to recover from the money they lost during this really hard winter. And it's also a great way to enjoy everything that Union Square has to offer at the same time. So the way it works is you use the hashtag Summer Bliss. And when you eat at a restaurant, or you hear music at a club, or you shop at one of our shops, then tweet out to everybody. So it's a way to help to get other people involved at the same time that you're involved. So the hashtag is hashtag Summer Bliss.
Local businesses are looking at all kinds of options to increase business this summer and get back on a solid financial footing. For instance, Cantina La Mexicana is considering installing a patio where customers can enjoy their meals outdoors. Remember #SummerBliss and tweet out your comments when visiting the restaurants and business this month. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Yuxiao Yuan.
Businesses aren't the only ones struggling with the cost of this record-breaking winter. Municipalities throughout eastern Massachusetts are looking at huge snow removal deficits. Mayor Joe Curtatone presented his 2016 budget proposal to the Board of Aldermen last week. The mayor outlined the financial toll the winter took on the snow removal budget.
As we all know, it snowed, and it snowed a lot. But we were prepared. We were prepared because not just as an administration, but this board worked with us over the last decade to implement prudent, smart, practical fiscal and budgetary policies that put us in a position to meet this crisis, meet this liability, and still make critical investments moving forward.
The city plans to use funds available from other departments, the free cash and rainy day funds, as well as reimbursements from FEMA to pay down the deficit. Through a statewide relief program, the remaining $1.6 million can be paid off over the next 3 years. The mayor will return to the Board of Aldermen in September with exact funding requests.